best known was this one, which was kind of like a parody of conspiracy theory websites back then. So we would make up our own conspiracies and take corporate figures and make them into clowns and write articles about them. There's a lovely multi-layer GIF. And the most active was probably this one, which is kind of interesting because this is also mid-90s, 96 I think. And this was in many ways a social network of its own. Of course, it was based around the independent experimental music community back in the 90s. You could join, so there was a mailing list. You've probably heard of them. There was a schedule of events. We had our own I guess what would now be called a podcast that you can listen to, where we played shows. You know, all kinds of really cool multi-layer GIFs, of course, that were made available. So the thing to me is that this idea of social media, and I think, as mentioned in various causes, is that we already had social networks. I mean, the internet is a social network. The internet has always been about sharing. And so a lot of the work at Telecommunisten sort of reflects that. So that's not what I want to say. So Telecommunisten is an arts collective founded in Berlin after I left Canada and moved to Berlin. And the project investigates what we call the social relations embedded in communication technologies. So it looks at the politics of network topologies, of mediation, of things like that. And mostly when I give talks, the talks are very much about political economy and about the whole sort of central theory of Telecommunisten, how capitalism will only build star networks and will never build mesh networks. But we're not going to talk so much about that right now. I think I read on Twitter that Jody already said that we have to overthrow capitalism before we have free networks. So I'll just echo those terms. So yesterday we showed Thimbl, which is a platform, a free decentralized microblogging platform. I made these little readers that you can get on the desk over there that have sort of the relevant essays on what that all means. This was launched at Transmediala 2010, and we have this little video, a promotional video that I'm just going to show you. So, and Thimbl actually, when we launched it for 2010, it is an artwork, so it was really a conceptual project. And what it was trying to show was how very simple creating a decentralized network is. Thimbl uses a protocol. The reason it's called Thimbl is it uses a protocol from the 1970s called the Finger Protocol. So the Finger Protocol is something that has been around for a very long time and is already supported by every server platform that there is. So what we're trying to demonstrate there is that the issue is not really about inventing a new way to build a social media network. The internet has always been a distributed social platform. So rather the question is, how did we go from having this decentralized social platform that is the internet to this very centralized idea of social media in the form of Facebook and the social media monopolies? That's the more interesting question. And the reason for that is actually not technical, because there's no technical advantage to having these platforms centralized. The reason that they're centralized is because of the needs of capital, because capital